Hi there everybody, welcome back to Prestige Auctions. It's auction aftermath time. This was for the auction that's just literally taken place. We're doing this one a little bit early today, so we got the auction done early. So it was from the auction 28th of December, and it was quite an interesting auction. We tried to keep it quite small purposely because it's that in between week, Christmas and New Year. Funds are tight for people. Family are staying with you and all the rest of it, so we was kind of got it in our minds, let's keep it a little bit small. We kept it sort of 840 odd lots, whatever it was, and we got it smashed in by 20 to 2, which is one hell of a speed to get up to, and things sold okay. But without further ado, let's have a quick look at what everything actually sold for in the auction. Well, not everything, but so let's have a look on here. And the auction started off relatively okay with the sort of early bird stuff going quite well. Things like this lamp, desktop lamps, they're quite a nice piece actually, that do sell. People that have got nice sort of twin pedestal desks and things like to pick these up. And as you can see there, we then went on to the West German vases. The design of these and the colours were really, really good. So these are sort of things that you can pick up in the auction rooms. Recently, in recent years, they've made a bit more money than they have done for a long time. And I think this is because everyone's been going for the retro look. So when you look at these, a lot of these will say underneath them West Germany, and they're the ones to get hold of. But these designs in these ones were quite good. We have had more money for these in the past than what we had today, but they're made sort of 20 odd pounds, something like 25 pound. Lamps and stuff were doing quite well. The ship, there's a few people after that. And then some of these vases and that, they didn't make much money. But that was just a bit of a surprise actually. That one made a few quid, 15, 16 quid, was it? Something like that for that wine bottle holder. And then stuff like this, which always seems to do well in the auction, these sort of plastic containers and things. So what else was there? So here's one to look out for, guys, because I've seen these quite often outside charity shops and stuff in big boxes where they've actually had boxes that say free to take. Knitting needles. Now, there's quite a lot of knitting needles in there, granted, but I think they made 15, 20 quid, something like that. So again, don't discard stuff like that and think to yourself that, oh, it's just knitting needles, it won't be worth a great deal, because they actually are. Anyway, as we come down this way then, we then did a few boxes of assorted. They did a few bob, those. They were sort of, I can't remember what they were now, but the Yu-Gi-Oh games or something or other. And then we had soft toys, we had some medical equipment. Lisa bought some of those for the challenge this week, so see how she does with those. And then the Dunhill lighter there, that one there, the tall boy lighter, £75 reserve, maybe a tad too much, I think. With the commission on top, it takes you well into the price that they can be bought for online. So maybe whoever's put that one in, I'm not sure it was, I wasn't here, but maybe just a little bit too high on the reserve there to get that one away, unless of course it's sold afterwards, but I don't think so. Some of these caps, they struggled as well. I thought they might have sold because they're quite trendy. This sort of thing is selling though. This sort of stands us in good stead for this week's specialist sale, because these figurines and action figures and stuff are making good money at the moment. Or I say making good money, they're certainly very saleable. They're selling every time they come in. So we come down here and then we got onto the boxes of books and things and some more action figures. One or two of the boxes of the Blu-rays did okay this week as well. Again, I suppose it's all about titles and box sets and stuff like that, but if you know what you're doing with those things, fair play. As we came down here, I'll be honest, one of the things I wanted to try and buy this week, wherever it may be, is that box of Monopoly games, that one there. I wanted to buy that for the challenge, but it was just a little bit more than I'd sort of said I would pay, so I didn't end up getting that one. And as we come down here, there was more books and more books and more books, and lots of books, all sort of selling okay. That was my challenge piece this week, that one there and that one there, so I bought those two, as I made it quite well known in the auction that I was buying those. And candles were selling okay as well. The box of candles sold for a few bob, so again, that's another nice piece that somebody's picked up there. When you think about it, I think when you start looking at a box like that and you think, well, there's a tenner there, there's maybe 15 quid there and so on, before you know it, these boxes are really worth buying, not just for making money on, but actually if you're going to buy those for home, you know, you're getting yourself something relatively cheap. Or do what other people do, other dealers do. They'll look at maybe something in the box that I think, oh, I wouldn't mind a couple of them candles. So you buy the box, then sell the rest. You get your candles for free. It just kind of makes sense. I liked this there. That nice old lion box reminded me of when I was a kid, that when you used to get the big lion boxes and there used to be a piece of paper inside them, and just really nice old sweets. Lions, of course, do still make midget gems, but then they just don't seem quite as good as they used to be for some reason. The little boxes, little dealer boxes, the curio boxes, they did okay. The boxes, the bags of costume jewellery, they was all right. Some did more than others. Obviously, it depends what people were spotting them. The Viner's cutlery, where was that? That made some money as well. Nice 70s set, that one. Again, ones to look out for, often seen in charity shops and boot sales and that for next to nothing. Pick them up. There was more here, look. More of these ones here. If you're looking closely on these, they all say Viners on them as well. And they're in the original boxes. They're older ones as well. They're probably late 60s, them ones. Again, good lots to buy to resell on. This was okay as well. These things can make some money in antique centres and that. People are often looking for these, especially for cake shops and stuff like that are looking for traditional look. Start buying stuff like this. You know, there's so many different angles to be able to buy from an auction and sell the items. We're going to be starting a new series from next week where we've actually got a name for it somewhere. Where was it? It's going to be called Auction Finds, okay? And this one starts next week, and we're going to be looking at certain things in the auction every single week. And we're going to pick like sort of 4 or 5 lots every week. We're going to talk about them. We're going to do a video about them. Not going to be long videos, maybe 5 minutes to 8 minutes, something like that. Talking about each item. Then I'm going to give you an estimate of how much I think it's going to make. And then we're going to look for you guys to say how much you think it's going to make. And then we're going to sell it that Saturday. And then each week we're going to revisit and just see what made the money and how close we were and how good we are at guessing these prices, really. CDs, there was lots of them. Look, CDs everywhere. And the boxes of toys, they was all selling okay, all that stuff. And then the bags of cuddly toys. Well, these things, I mean, I remember when these started coming into us from a company that puts them in. And I remember looking and thinking, oh, God, not cuddly toys. But do you know what? These are selling so well. And this week we had so many commissions on the book. People were fighting over these this week. Lots of people wanted them because, again, people just look at them and they just assume, oh, cuddly toys, a bit like I did maybe, and think, wait, what's the point of buying those? Absolutely, there's loads of point in buying them because there's profit to be made in them. So don't give up on these. Come and have a look at them. Have a delve in the bags. See what you can find in there. There is profit to be made in these bags. So it's just being bothered. Jewellery cabinet this week was a bit of a mixed bunch. Nice bits of silver. There's some nice silver Vesta cases and that. This one here, and that one there. And they did, you know, well above scrap, which I expected them to do. The silver salts did plenty above scrap as well. And then we came on to the little bits and bobs of jewellery there and badges. And the lady that I went to see that put all these, and I think she's going to be relatively surprised how much this lot did that was in the boxes that she had. So you got silver bits and bobs. That ring was quite nice. $299. I quite like that one. Quite a nice older look. And 300. 301 was a 22 karat gold ring. That made all its money. Little 9 karat gold bracelets and 9 karat gold fobs and all sorts of bits and bobs. 1 or 2 of the bits that we found in the jewellery box weren't gold, so we chucked them in a mixed box. But there was some nice bits and bobs of silver and some more gold there. And yeah, it was all decent gear. But again, there was money to be made on it if you was looking to buy them to sell them. See, that one there as well, that was a good one because look at the content, all this old boys brigade stuff. And, you know, you're not just buying one item, you're buying several. So some of these bigger lots are the ones to buy if you're looking to make money. So we went through all that. Then we sold, see, that ironing board struggled, and then that ironing board made the money. Must be like a Rolls-Royce ironing board or something. As we came down here, went through the boxes of assorted. That was cheap. The Bang & Olufsen thing there, that was a tenner. And then we also had a a Bang & Olufsen soundbar hidden in a Yamaha box this week. Plenty of people was after that as well. There was a bit of a fight on for that for 20 quid. And again, nice old sewing machine. And as we come down this way, we sold more of these bits and bobs. Dartboard made a few quid, but they're not cheap, I can tell you that much. I've got one myself. And then this was the surprise, this one here. So as we looked at these boxes here, these were doing like, I don't know, 15, 20 quid, same on that one. And this one did £100. £100 on that one. There was a bit of silver in there though. There was a silver bangle and so on. So there was a few bits and bobs left in there, and it made a few bob. So there you go. So it was worth leaving the bits in because it made a few quid. £100 for that one. As we came down here, people were buying camera stuff. Camera stuff's been doing quite well in here recently. So again, if you're finding that cheap anywhere, looking for something to put into the auction to make a few quid, camera stuff is doing okay as well. Then we went back onto mixed boxes in the box room, and then the pictures. Vintage hi-fi, of course, always does well, this sort of stuff. And then we came round down here, and then we had all the mixed boxes, and eventually we did a load more CDs and DVDs, and again plenty of content in those, again because there's money to be made in those. If you can be bothered to sell the smaller pieces for less money, you'll make your profits over a longer length of time, which is okay. If you're doing things like the challenge that we talk about, then that's great because you can have money trickling in, rather than tying it all your eggs up in one basket all the time. So there you go. Tool room did okay. There wasn't anything fantastic in there this week, but all the stuff sort of trickled along. Some stuff sold. Some of these work surfaces and stuff. Now again, this is something that had clearly come out of somewhere, whether it be a shop or whatever it was. I've got a feeling it may have been a shop looking at some of the other stuff that was in the sale, but a lot of people just thought I'd chuck that in a skip. And ultimately, they were doing like 20s and 30 quids, and I think there was stuff like that ladder there. I think that did 30 odd quid. I think it was £30. And again, so good things to look out for if you're buying cheap, and you don't want the hassle of selling it all yourself. Then bring it to the auction. Money to be made all the time. The Acros, they both sold. I think they made 20, 30 quid each. Can't remember now. And then I'm trying to find that particular one there. There you go. 3 old work surfaces, probably out of a shop or something. And I think they did 30 odd quid as well. And again, often stuff that people would just chuck in the tip. That set of ladders there must have been something quite special about those, because they did 30 odd quid as well. Golf clubs and golf balls, they all sold. And then these, I think these did 30 odd quid each as well. So again, there was a good mixture. Now that one there was the running machine. Thought someone was going to get that cheap, and then somebody ran the bid all the way up to £50 in the end, which was my last bid on the book as well. So someone's got that one, gone away with that happy. And then they'd have probably been happy if they'd got it at tenner. But there you go. That's the auction for you. As we come around here, we did bikes. Kids' bikes do struggle. There's no doubt about it. Kids' bikes do struggle unless you get something really, really special. So the bikes, again, weren't making a whole lot of money. One or two did. Gets onto the front table, and of course then the gaming gear kicks in, and the gaming gear always makes the money. So do records as well. You put anything decent in them and it's going to sell. And that's what you got here. All these bits and bobs, Segas and then Nintendo systems, and then Wii systems and more records. It was all selling. But again, think about it like this. If you're buying a big box of records, there's 50, 60 records in there. You're paying 40 quid. You're paying less than £1 each for them. So I've never seen one of these either. An Xbox fridge. That's a bit different. Some of the gaming on the front table wasn't making much money. And I think that's because when you look here, here's a bit of a tip for you. See, a lot of these are to do with sports, and the sports ones often don't sell well because they're bringing them out every year. People want the latest teams and that, so they don't always make that much money. But look out for the rarer titles. Moorcroft did okay this week as well. The Moorcroft bits and bobs that came from the same house as all the jewelry, again, 20s and 30s. It was modern Moorcroft. It wasn't the old stuff. It's not super collectible, but it's still nice, and it's nice to have some of those items. So we come here. And then we got onto the appliances. Appliances were selling well. £72, I think, for that washing machine. 70 odd quid for the fridge freezer. And then microwaves and things. The mattresses sold well. Now, we said in the auction, it's not something we would often sell that. But they were so clean and tidy that we said we'd have a go at them. But I want you to think about this for a second. Go out and buy a mattress like that is hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Somebody probably got that for 20 or 30 quid today. So again, you've saved money. Somebody saved some good money there today by buying that. This one here, we got onto the oak furniture. The oak furniture was lovely. It come from a beautiful house. And I think that one did 300 and something pound, that one, the oak wall unit. Then you had oak display cabinets and wardrobes. And to be fair, if any of the furniture this week that was any good sold. There was a few bits and bobs that didn't, and I noticed one or two people picking up the after sales and buying stuff for a few pounds, which is good. It's good because it gets it all recycled, gets it all back in the system. That was cheap today. That one there, that mobility scooter, at £20, £25, £30 was it, something like that. Again, bargain for somebody. Does it need new batteries? Who knows? And then these at the end of the sale, I think these are sort of professional photography stuff, that one and that one. But overall, like I say, it was a pretty good sale, and we're happy. A lot of it sold. We've got a massive auction coming up this next week. But of course, don't forget, it is the next sale is on Thursday. We've got a toy sale this coming Thursday, 433 lots I think it is of toys, collectibles and that, so you can get involved with the bidding now by going to Easy Live Auction and easyliveauction.com. Get yourself registered, get involved with the bidding. People are always already bidding on that one, and then the finale sort of ends up in the auction room. 10 o'clock kickoff on Thursday for that one. Doors are open at 9 o'clock if you want to do any additional viewing. Get yourselves down here for that, and then we'll get that one done for you. Don't think it'll be a really long day. We'll probably be wrapped up by sort of early to mid-afternoon. So that one's one to look forward to, and there's good money to be made in that one as well. Some interesting bits in there. So that one is next, and then of course next Saturday we've got another massive sale for you. Right, me and Lisa are going now. As many of you know, our youngest son Daniel and his wife, our daughter-in-law Ellie, are home from Qatar for a few days, and they surprised us by telling us that they was having a baby. So we've got our third grandchild on the way, and at 5 o'clock this afternoon we're going to find out what gender it's going to be. Fingers crossed. I don't care what it's going to be. As long as it's healthy, I'll be a happy man. Thanks ever so much for watching. And we will see you all in the week. We'll be back with more podcasts and God knows what else we'll be doing through the week. Have a great week, everybody. Get selling, make loads of money. And we'll see you all very soon at the auction.